It's August 2023, and you just seen that AYN has announced a follow-up to the Odin, a model that caught your eye, but ultimately didn't do much for you. But this one, the Odin 2, has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, the same CPU found in the most recent Samsung phones. And they're only asking a starting price of $299. How is that? You ask yourself, could this be real? But you sign up for the Indiegogo campaign anyways. And put your hopes into the fact that this is not a scam. As fact, after having read the comments of the previous launch, you saw lots of problems and disappointment with shipping times and other issues. Fast forward to November 2023, and you get a notification that your Odin 2 Pro has shipped. And when it arrives, guess what? It really does have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. And it's amazing with its beautiful screen. And this is how you came to fall in love with the company AYN. And now, almost a year and a half later, they have taken that same model and improved it with a bigger screen, OLED, 120 Hertz, and they've launched the Portal. And today, we're going to take a look at the Portal in Indigo and give our impressions and unboxing. Stay tuned, Deadheads. I used to think that my best friend, my dog, was fine eating the generic packaged food. But then I realized that my best friend deserves better than that. They deserve FreshPet, because if they're going to eat, they might as well. No, wait, I'm not a spokesperson for FreshPet, but it's kind of cool for the doggies. Anyways, Deadheads, welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel for the first time, new Deadheads. Today, let's examine the Odin Portal and talk about things like this 7-inch size. So when the Odin 2 finally arrived, I quickly found out just how amazing it was. And our video shot up and actually helped encourage me to make more videos. It was one of my most popular videos and my early start of this channel. And I quickly found out that size for Dead Fred does kind of matter, because shortly after the Pimax Portal arrived, and I found it to be very sleek. And while it had a processor that is just as good as what Retroid Pocket 5 now is sporting, it got overlooked and it didn't really do well, while the Odin 2 became the go-to handheld of the year. While I agreed with everything that people said, I just couldn't find myself enjoying the Odin 2. I really don't know why. It's a great device, but it just wasn't for me. But soon after, quickly, the Ayaneo Pocket Air arrived, and I found it to be more enjoyable with its OLED screen and ergonomics. So for me, I really didn't understand why Odin 2 was such a big deal. Yes, it was a great device, but it wasn't exactly the best device for me. Well, I have since then found a new love for bigger devices. One of my favorite devices is the TJD, the 80, the device that shouldn't have launched. It has that massive 8-inch 4:3 aspect ratio screen. Now that's a great device. So let's get into this Odin Portal and find out, am I going to like it, or does size really ultimately matter? Let's go. All right, so part of the fun of getting an Indiegogo campaign is always the opening of the package. And we have a bag here that AYN has provided, and it's good for, I don't know, good for puppeting. I'm not sure. I guess this is some way to carry the Portal. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll even use that, but hey, nice gesture. We also have an extra set of buttons, and tops here. So I kind of found that to be kind of interesting. I don't recall, but it looks like mine are in good shape. I did see that somebody's shipped and it was a little out of sorts, but these look good. So a different set of buttons here. And then what I was kind of most excited for was this protective case. One of the things that really made my Pocket S just become one of my favorite devices was the 2-in-1 cover that they shipped and sold with it and still sell with it, which improves it greatly. So let's get this little guy open and let's see what it looks like here. Now I'm hoping that this will match, because I don't know, I don't remember. I ordered originally a grip, then they changed it, so we're gonna find out here together. Oh, well, look here, right here. So first thing I see, some little grip nubs here with some sticky, so it looks like you have to apply these yourself if you want to change it. I'm not big on doing stuff like that. I can see the Odin here, so that's pretty cool. Let's get the box out of the way. And so far, this thing feels chunky, but that may be a good thing considering how big this is. Not really sure. And kind of neat. Okay, I like the presentation of this. They give you the portal in it, and with that curved glass, looks like they actually did a good job with this little cutout. But just holding this feels it's like a TPU, but like a little bit better made TPU. Certainly glad I got it. Looks like the color matches. Let's see if the color of it is, how close is it to the, yeah, look, that's to the Retroid Pocket 5. That's a good match. Man, look at how massive this thing is between the two. My God. Okay. You know, we talked in the video about large handhelds, and so that's what we're getting here. So initial, I think they probably did good with this. I don't like it as much as my Pocket S. Man, that is some beefy grips back there, but it's textured. So I do like that. Nice little design there. So hopefully this is going to make the Portal more enjoyable. Nice box, nice packaging. We have the slide out as usual. Not much on the back here. I did get the Pro and the Indigo. So let's hope this is the right one in here. Slide her out. So always like these boxes that slide. Nice presentation as always here. Little AYN card with our instructions, just like with the Odin 2. So again, 8 Gen 2. Here's all the specs in case you're just now discovering this world and want to see these specs that are right there. So, you know, don't throw the battery into a fire or water. Please don't do that. And, ooh, nice. This may be one of the nicest little foam cutouts I've ever seen. It's like felt on one side, and this side, that's nice, which is good for transport. And oh man, somebody's awake. Look at that. Look at that. We're awake. It must be cold outside because somebody is like really up. So let's get this guy out of here. And below, we do have a charging cable. It's a thick old boy. It's so nice to unbox one of these and see C to C. So that is nice. And again, this really nice inset. They just really did a nice job of this. And amazing, since this thing is started out a little bit less than the Evo and has the same screen. So, all right. So let's get this all out of the way here, and that's some fancy stuff there, right there. And let's open up the handset and take a look at it and see what we think. And I waited for this, and whoo, this is beautiful. Oh my. Okay. Just immediately, you know, Dad Fred has some oily hands and everything, and this is just straight out the box, just gorgeous. And let me just zoom in on this a little bit, and this color is stunning. Again, we have a pretty nice match. I don't know why I zoomed in. I'm going to zoom out. So a pretty nice match here, and just to show the difference in size between the Retroid Pocket 5 and the Portal. I mean, my God, look at that. It's like, it's crazy as a random hair finally falls on that. You can see a massive 7-inch screen versus the 5.5-inch screen on this one. So pretty big difference in the two of these, but let's get this out of here. Let's compare this to a few more handhelds. Voila. And now we have the Switch OLED. And to give you an idea, and this guy is hanging out a little bit wider than the Switch OLED here. So again, just to kind of give you a comparison here on sizes between the two. And the amazing thing is with this CPU in here, it's going to emulate Switch games to the best it's possible right now. But let's look at one more. Let's look at my favorite device. Let's look at the Pocket S and compare the size. Voila, and here we have the Pocket S with the Protal here. And again, we have an all glass front on the S, and you can just see the difference in sizes. Now, the CPU in this is a little bit different than the CPU in this. Well, the CPU part's the same, the GPU is different, but you're gonna get a somewhat similar ability between these two handsets. It's not gonna be that big a difference. Drivers have developed better for this over time, for this or the Odin CPU. But again, they're in the same class, they're talking about the two. So you get a 6-inch screen here or a 7-inch screen here. And look at the size difference to bump up to that. But, you know, one thing that people have sort of mentioned is the fact that you are getting bigger buttons here. Again, they did provide this other set of buttons to change out. I guess they're extra buttons in case you do that. So not really... I'll have to find out why those came with that. I don't remember. But so just again to give you a comparison between the two. But let's start firing this thing up and let's test it out. All right, so there she is in her protective her grip. And while I initially thought it was going to add a lot of bulk, it doesn't. It actually helps distribute the weight better because it puts the weight on these curves. And so it fits almost more naturally. And holding the grip alone, I thought these were going to be pretty big. But I got to say, guys, this feels nice. And this thing went on very easily. One of the big problems with the Pocket S was the fact that the way they designed this thing was very, very tight. It was a super tight fit. And while I'll say that between the two of these, I like this better. This is made of good material. It feels nice. This thing sits on this super tight. Now this is more of a rigid sort of material, and this is a little less rigid. So I gotta say, I still like this. Of course, with the Pocket S, you do have the cover that can go over it and cover it. So that's a nice little addition there. But I gotta say, I'm glad I got this, and I think I would recommend spending the money to get this definitely on this. So first impressions, unboxing. I gotta say, I like how it feels in the hands. It's very impressive. It doesn't seem unwieldy. It seems to be spaced out well for my hands, and I don't have the biggest of hands. It's well designed, as you would expect from this company. So, all right, let's get this thing tested and playing a little bit, and then we'll do our overview of it. Hey Deadhead, sorry to interrupt the video. I'm sure you were enjoying it, but I want to take a moment to share with you a product from our sponsor from AliExpress. We want to thank our friends at AliExpress for sending us. We all know that recently the Trimui brick has become a very popular handheld because of a lot of things, but one of them things is the fact that it has these replaceable caps on the back, as you can see here. And AliExpress is selling these additional caps you can buy and purchase, such as these see-through caps that we have picked up here to put on our brick. They come in a nice packaging, as you can see, and you get a set of 3 with different sizes and types. So if you think there's something you want to do to customize your brick and have a little fun with changing out the keycaps, then make sure you check out the link in the description so you can check these out for yourself in case you want to pick one of these up. Anyways, guys, let's hop back into the video. So first, let's go over the hardware as always. And here is this grip. So I just wanted to show you guys just the grip and how much bulk it's going to add to it. So be prepared for that. I think this is a wise investment. I think they did good with this. And I would recommend that you get this just because holding this feels nice. It does. It feels nice in the hands. And the funny thing is, once you hold it, it doesn't seem to be as bulky as it looks, you know, just from the look of it. But yeah, totally like the way this feels in the hands. Let's test our buttons. So a little bit loud there. They do have a nice travel distance. They feel really good. They're nice big buttons. So really like that. The size of the buttons, I'd say that's really nicely done. Again, on this glass front and this curvature, which is pretty nice looking. Now this button is a micro switch, it sounds like, and it's very quiet. So I kind of wish these buttons were micro switches. I wish they were like the unicorn. Those are some of my favorite buttons. I know some people don't like those, but at a premium we're paying, I would have liked that better. So let's take a look at the D-pad. D-pad feels really good. Okay, yeah. The D-pad, I gotta say the D-pad feels really nice. So no problems with the D-pad there. I'm really enjoying the D-pad. Lots of pivot there. Feels good. Seems to be responsive. And again, micro switch. Now these sticks, why didn't we get full-size sticks? Okay, it feels a little funny holding these little sticks on this huge handheld. So my very first criticism of this thing is going to be that it's going to be these tiny sticks, and I don't think that these alternate stick covers are much, well, these are bigger, so I guess you just have to change them out if you want bigger. Or is that the same size? It's a little bit bigger. I think it's a little bit bigger, and it has a texture on it. I don't know this. I would have made this the recommended sticks it ships with, so not sure on that because these sticks are tiny, and I love these sticks. Now, these are some of the best sticks you can get, the Retroid AYN, and they, look at that, they just pop right back and they feel really good. So definitely no issue with the stick, just the size of it's a little bit weird. And then we have, whoa, that's quiet. Look, that is so quiet, guys. Now we all know that shoulders can sometimes have issues that pop up post shipping, but gotta say, nothing wrong with that there. We have some ventilation here. We have our volume rocker and our power button. And then on the back, we do have, like with the Odin, we have these additional buttons back here. They're pretty loud. Pretty loud. We have this nice design, and again, this nice curvature. I don't know if I can get this on camera, but it has this nice curvature to it. So this thing has some design language to it. Our TF card right down here, and then our centered USB power jack, so we can dock this thing pretty easily. Only one USB-C. I would have liked to have seen maybe another one. I know they're trying to keep costs down, but if we're already in the $400 range, I think it could have had and benefited from another USB-C. Nothing on the sides, so all in all, it has a good distribution to the weight of it. It feels pretty nice holding it. I'm really liking it. One of my big complaints about the Odin 2 was it didn't seem to be distributed very well. If we're going to have a big handset, it has to be thin and long for me. And so far, I'm pleased with the thinness of this. I am liking this so far, guys, you know, and sometimes I can't really put on what I like about something, but I like this. So I'm going to get it in this group. Okay, guys, so what did I learn in the first 24 hours of using the Ayn Odin portal? Number one, I learned that a device can increase screen size and yet also make it not feel unwieldy. Between the Odin 2 and the Odin 2 Portal, I definitely prefer the feel and the holding of the Odin Portal. It has been stretched out a little bit, but the ergonomics of it make it just more comfortable for me to hold. Now, I've been chatting with some of my friends, and they're having a lot of nostalgia for the Odin 2. And actually, some of them are saying they prefer the Odin 2, and I think that's amazing and awesome. But for me, the Odin 2 Portal is definitely a step up. Number two, I'm not a streamer, although I think I'm going to try to learn how to do streaming from my PC. I don't have a PS5, and I've read in the comments section that streaming on this thing is amazing. I've seen a lot of good feedback about PlayStation 5 streaming to the device, which, if you're a PS5 gamer, I can see how this would be very attractive to be able to stream your games directly to the handset anywhere in your house. So I think that that is probably pretty cool, even though I haven't got to test it. But since I've seen good feedback, I wanted to mention it. Number three, I like the fact that this thing is just ready to go. It has a lot of support. There's so many things that have been developed for this ecosystem over the last year and a half that it was very easily and quickly that I could set this up and get it up and going. Gaming on this thing is a real joy, and I was able to set this up in no time and get my games going, which was a real nice thing to it. Now, I'm still at the point where I prefer Linux overall over Android, but things like Gamma OS continue to make me love Android even more. So who knows? But again, the Retroid Pocket 5 did get to have a Linux build. I'd like to see it on this. Maybe someday we can get a Linux build going, although we all know that the support there for the overall ecosystem is not strong enough for what this CPU can do. So, do I like the Odin 2 Portal? Yes, I'd have to say that at this point in the first 24 hours, I found very little to dislike about it. It has a decent battery, it charges decently, the screen is beautiful, it didn't overheat in any sort of way. The ecosystem is built out well with so much support already there from day one since the Odin 2 has already existed. So, overall, I think it's a good value for your money. If you're going to step up to a size like this, yes, you could go to a ROG Ally X, or you could move into the Windows ecosystem and get even more things. But we've already seen PlayStation 3 start to appear on Android, so it's just a matter of time before we have more ability to do it this size. So we're going to do a full review of this later on. I'm going to play with it some more. But in my first 24 hours, I would say that, yes, I've enjoyed using the Odin 2 Portal. It has been a lot of fun. It's been an investment that I think is going to pan out. And again, I'm not feeling that, oh my God, this is too big, that I was worried about. So if you, like me, have preferred the slimmer, smaller devices, know that these devices are getting bigger screens, but they're also getting slimmer and more ergonomic, especially with that grip. I can't stress enough that I would spring for the grip. I think that it's well worth it, or protective case, whatever they're calling it. Anyways, guys, remember to hug your loved ones. Love your hugged ones, because tomorrow is never promised. We'll see you next time, Deadheads. Fred out.